thought I did well. I could have definitely done a lot better. Got a little loose at sometimes, kind of freelanced a little bit more than I would like to. But I mean, we won the game. We scored a lot of points. That's always encouraging.
How do you tighten that up? Do you just remind yourself every play?
Yeah, just remind myself, working on it, practice, really getting the game plan down and going through my reads and not trying to make a big play all the time. Something I've been working on all off season. Hopefully, I'll get better as the season goes on.
Is the other just more? Did you do it that way because that's the way you've done it all your life, and changing it to be tighter is newer to you?
Yeah, I feel like I was a little amped up, especially at the beginning of the game, trying to make big plays happen. We did make some happen, but at the same time, we missed on a lot of things. And I'll try to get better at this going into Arizona State. They have a good defense, so need to be better, more efficient.
After the game, was it more just not going through all of your progressions and staying in the pocket that Cliff hit on with you, or what was it specifically?
Yeah, I mean that was the main thing. Just kind of getting off my reads early, and you could tell I was going through the progressions, I guess you would say, but just not really trusting it. Trying to get out of the pocket and run around, throw the ball instead of just trusting it and making the throws. And something that we've been working on, and I expect to do better.
Was that more because I guess maybe the offensive line wasn't blocking as well as they should have, or was it just you first game?
I mean, a little bit of both. I feel like a lot of it was on me, just not trusting them. At the same time, we got to be more physical as offensive line. But a lot of it was on me, just not trusting them.
You gonna try and throw it to 18 different receivers this next weekend?
If they're open, I will. I'm trying to put it in the best receiver's hands for that play, and whoever go through my reads and whoever's open, I'm gonna give them the ball. I'm not a big guy on having the go-to guy. I try to put it in the best player's hands for that play.
Have you looked at any film, and do you think that Arizona State is softer in the middle or on the outside or short or deep?
I think it just kind of depends on what defense they're in. They have a really good defensive line. They pass rushers are really good, but they have a good defense in general. They have a really good scheme. They blitz a lot, try to confuse you. So just me recognizing the blitzes and get us in the best play would be the best way to go about that.
Pat, I was trying to remember, were you on the sideline for the Holiday Bowl win in San Diego?
No, I was still a senior in high school. I didn't get to come.
Did you watch that game?
I did watch that game. They did really good, first half especially, jumping on them early. David Davis at the time was really good about just going through his reads, making the plays, and hopefully I can do the same thing. And then at the same time, carried him in the second half and have a full game of real good football.
Is playing a team like Arizona State, or a team in the Pac-12, just another team in the Power 5 conference, does that change the locker room a little bit this week? The buzz or anticipation?
A little bit. I mean, we're really trying to go out there and prove to everyone in the nation who we are. We have a really good chance. They're a really good football team. So to go out there and hopefully excel and hopefully come out with the win would be awesome and really get us going for the season as we're at the beginning of it.
What do you take from an experience in non-conference last year going to, somebody else's house in Arkansas, and what do you take to Arizona State that maybe you leaned on last year?
I mean, last year the biggest thing I get against Arkansas was getting on them early, getting that lead from the beginning, and hopefully we can do that this next week is jump on them early, and kind of how we've really done well since I've been here is once we get up early, we usually can maintain it through the whole game. We got to be better on the road this year, so I'm be excited to see us get out there first time on the road at a big stadium in front of a hostile environment.
You ever played a football game that late at night? I know you guys are cool playing anytime, but that seems like a lot of waiting around.
I haven't. I was here for UTEP when we played them at 9 o'clock my freshman year. I didn't get to play, but I was there, so I know what the process is like. So I'll use that experience to help me out and really try to get myself maintained the whole day and not be too energized all day.
What do you hope to learn most as an offense, or maybe try to improve on just facing a Power 5 opponent before a couple weeks before Big 12 play starts?
The biggest thing I'm improving on is just being more physical as a whole unit and blocking for each other. We made a lot of plays with playmakers last week, but we really need to improve on really blocking for each other and really being a full team and not just a big play team.
At least as of yesterday, it came out that you guys were underdogs headed to Arizona State. You guys see yourself that way?
I mean, I don't see us as underdogs to anyone. I feel like we can beat anyone in the country. So we're going to come out there, play like we've worked this all season. We're going to play the best we can and compete. Hopefully, come out with the win against a really good football team.
Did you take a lot of hits on Saturday?
Took a few. I don't really notice them until after the game. But yeah, I took some hits, took some big ones, but for the most part, I don't think I got sacked. So I mean, that's always encouraging. And so as long as we're moving the ball forward and not moving backwards, that's always a good thing.
The knee doesn't bother you?
Knee, I haven't felt it in a while, knock on wood. But yeah, I haven't felt it, and I'm excited about that. Staying healthy, I'm gonna keep maintaining rehab and stuff like that, just to make sure about it.
Like, there were 2 or 3 times, if I remember right, on Saturday night where y'all were in, I want to say third down situations, and you kind of took, you ran for first downs. Were those, I assume that wasn't by design. It looked like you were probably looking for some passes, just saw the players don't like take it.
Yeah, and I think that goes to how good the receivers were playing, making big plays. They were dropping a lot of guys out of there. And from learning from my freshman and sophomore year, I've learned that on third downs especially, if they give you the first down, just go ahead and take it and run for it. Like you said, I was just kind of going through my reads and just saw the open space, just ran for the first down, got out of bounds, so we can keep the offense and the chains moving.
Usually in that first game, you don't really know what you have until those lights come on and you get out on the field. Just after what you saw against Stephen F. Austin, do your expectations change of what you see the season ending up as, and what do you have those expectations as of right now after seeing them for the first time?
I mean, my expectation is still to win the Big 12 championship. From watching around the country, there was a lot of good teams in the Big 12 this year, guys that can really play. But I expect to win every single game. I expect to win the Big 12 and compete for a national championship.
What's the toughest part about, you talk about going through your reads and wins and trying to, I guess, avoid the rust and kind of make some stuff happen? I guess finding a balance between that and trusting your instincts, I imagine that's a challenge. What's, I guess, that process been like?
It's definitely a challenge, especially getting out there on game day. You want to make big plays happen, but you have to really just trust in the offense, trust in Coach Kingsbury, and know that he knows what he's doing. He's had success. And so really just trusting in him more than I guess you would trust. I need to trust in myself and just really go out there and execute at a high level.
I know we've talked a lot, it's been talked a lot about, going through your reads and maybe trying to make stuff happen prematurely. Have you found times where you maybe have overcorrected, or you feel like that hasn't been a concern as to?
For the most part, especially against SFA, I feel like I was pretty good at not trying to make plays happen before the play. There was a couple times, I think on the third down, I overthrew Reginald Davis. The first option was wide open. I just took off running. But for the most part, I feel like I was pretty good about it this first game, and hopefully I can be better as the season goes on.
Do you think you thrive off of going into somebody else's house?
Yes, I feel like this year especially, that was the biggest knock. I feel like for us last year is we were great at home and not as good on the road, and especially as an offense. So I'm trying to really change that mindset for the team and for everybody else watching us, is that we can be a road team, we can win games at tough environments.
I didn't get a chance to watch that UT Notre Dame game last night.
I did watch. It was an awesome game. 2 really good teams. Both teams' quarterbacks played well, all the quarterbacks in the game, and it was exciting to see a high-scoring game with a lot of different changes and momentum.
Anything else?
Did you get a chance to watch Narcos?
I haven't watched Narcos yet. I will though soon.
It felt good to get back out there. It's been a while. The jitters, of course you have them, but I had my teammates right there beside me, so it felt like it was just another day.
Coach Kingsbury seems, to say a lot. He said it on Saturday, he said it today, you're not playing up to the full potential yet as a team. But what do you feel like you guys were able to accomplish overall on Saturday, even if it's something as simple as, kind of get your feet going, sort of get back in rhythm?
I think we're just getting the feel of the game again, feeling of playing football, a fast pace, tempo. We definitely did a good job communicating with each other. That also could get better. Sometimes we didn't communicate as well. So it was, some up and downs in it. So we got to get better at that. But overall, I just think, we all gelled together. We handled the environment pretty well.
How do you prepare differently in practice this week to go on the road?
Well, he's a big back, and the team that we're playing, they have a big back. They're a downhill team. They want to run the ball. So the way we prepare is just to tackle in practice, make sure we wrap up and get the ball carrier down, and also just weather the storm. If you're going into somebody's house, you're gonna have some ups and downs. Just stay constant. Don't panic, don't freak out, and we'll be fine. So you just manage the environment. That's all.
How do you get your teammates to have that same perspective?
You just preach it to them. You let them know right off the bat. Today when we go out there and walkthroughs, that would be said. That's the first thing that will be said once we bring it up, is that we got to learn how to control the environment going into somebody's house, and just be together. Stay together through the ups and the downs.
Andre, you enjoy going on the road? You feel like you thrive in that environment? It seems like teams come together and kind of build that cohesiveness going on the road.
I don't mind going on the road. It's pretty fun. It's football, so you got to enjoy, going to other places, seeing different things. But I enjoy it, going to somebody else's house, playing football. And so I enjoy it.
Even if it's going to be at 9 o'clock sometimes?
Yeah, I played in a few night games, so it's going to be a challenge for some guys, but I'm pretty sure once we dial in and focus in, we're going to understand hey, this is a football game, so we got to be ready to go.
First opportunity to be in the Jones this past Saturday. How did compare to the Big House or some of the other places you've been around the country?
Well, it was loud. It was loud. Before I got on the field, I wasn't, as nervous. I'm like, okay, I can, do this. When I got on the field and they just started roaring, I was like, oh my goodness. And it was just a good environment. I'm happy to be a part of it. We have, a great fan base, and they did a great job Saturday cheering us on.
Did it disappoint you that so many of them left before the end of the game?
You never know. Some may have responsibilities, some may have to get back home. So, as long as we get the win, they came and supported. We got the win, so it is good.
I don't know if you've had a chance to watch too much film, but who just impressed you the most out of y'all's defensive line group when looking back on Saturday's game?
Oh man, I think just about everybody. Even Lonzo Gilmore, he came in right away, made an impact. Joseph Wallace came in, made an impact. Colin Hill was the guy who set out with me, and he did an excellent job. I thought Gary Moore did a great job hustling to the ball. Braden Fajoko did a great job, holding his ground. Mike Thomas, Chris Williams, McCarthy, J-Mac. I don't want to forget anybody, but I think everybody handled it pretty well, and they went out there and did their job. So, but we do have some things that we have to correct, and we'll get those corrected this week.
Did it help at all having, not only just someone else, but someone with Colin in your position group that last year just going through the process and kind of waiting your turn and I guess have some company going through that process?
It's pretty exciting, because we talked before the game. It was like, man, it seems like it was just a week ago we were just on the sideline and envisioning playing the next year, and now it's here. So it was just a good moment to share with him, because we both sat out. But I enjoyed sharing the moment with all of them, all the defensive line guys that were with me. So because they helped me through the process as well. They accepted me for who I was, and they never resisted the leadership. So.
How close do you feel like you guys performed as a unit compared to what you've seen that the defense is capable of in practice?
Can you say that again, sir?
Just how close do you feel like your performance as a defense was to what you've been capable of in practice and kind of the potential you've seen there?
Well, I think that starts with Coach Patrick and what he preaches every day. Coming out, bringing the hard hat, trying to work every day, trying to get better at something. So I felt like we were close throughout the whole game. We didn't break, we didn't bend, but we have a tougher opponent this week, so it's going to be interesting to see how we handle that.
What was Coach Gibbs' reaction to how you guys played Saturday?
He was pretty excited for the most part. Of course, he wanted the ball a little bit more, so we got to do a better job of turning the ball over and making plays. and also just taking advantage of our opportunities. You know, batting balls, you know, disrupting the quarterback, throwing his timing off. That's something that we got to do better. And but for the most part, I think Coach Gibbs was pretty excited.
I've only seen one game from their quarterback, but he likes to run around. What problem does that pose for you guys on the defensive line?
Can you say that?
A running quarterback, what problem does that pose for you guys up front?
I don't think it's a problem. I think we all just need to know where we are on the field to do our job and stay in our gaps, of course, and just ultimately do our job and execute when that time comes. If he gets out of the pocket, the guy who may have containment, make sure he has containment. So those are just coaching points and game plan strategies, and they did a great job last year. Last week, meaning my coaches did a great job with the game plan. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do a great job again this week.
Personally, do you like the statue back there, or do you mind a running quarterback?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I like them all. you know, I like to, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, if you're a running quarterback, okay. If you stand in the pocket, okay. See how that works for you. But I like them both. I like them all. It doesn't matter to me.
Is there a specific number that Coach Gibbs preaches in practice as far as turnovers are concerned that you feel like if y'all get to a certain number, you know, that gives you a distinct advantage to be able to win the game, or is it, hey, just go out there and let's turn as many as possible?
Right. That is what it is. There's no set number because we don't want to, you know, just set it right there. We want to get as many as possible and get it back to the playmaker, you know, Patrick Mahomes, and, you know, high-powering offense, you know, so they can score and do what they do best.